Okay. So when I say the more, very cliched phrase, the more the merrier. मतलब जितने ज्यादा लोग उतनी ज्यादा खुशी. The more the merrier. So I'm using it. The more they get, the more they want. That also can be used. So you can use it with comparatives as well. All right. So far so good for using the, right? Now, if I go to, if I say, for example, uh, you know, Sachin is the Bradman of modern cricket. So I'm talking about Sachin Tendulkar, and I'm talking about under cricketing great Donald Bradman, right? But here, see, usually I would not say the Bradman, right? I would say Bradman was a great batsman. Bradman was a great batsman, MAN, right? Because here I'm referring to Sir Donald Bradman, right? And here when I say Sachin is the Bradman, actually what am I doing? I'm comparing Sachin to Bradman. So I'm using it as a comparative degree, right? So this is what I'm saying, all right? So this is how we compare, and comparisons can be done using those kind of pronouns also, right? So, sorry, those kind of nouns also when I'm using the noun to compare, right? Uh, for example, if I say the Jasraj, see, now you might be finding it very awkward. Why am I saying the Jasraj? But look, wait for the sentence to be completed. Thus, the Jasraj whom whom you met is my student. Let's suppose all of you know many Jasrajas, okay? And then you happen to meet this boy from Chicken Charlie, right? So, and you come to me and report that, sir, we met this boy was living next to Chicken Charlie over there, and he was quite a bubbly young fellow. So I say that Jasraj whom you met amongst many Jasrajas is my student, right? So here also I am using it because it's been qualified by an adjective defining adjectival clause, right? So that is what's happening over there. So the Jasraj whom you met is my student. All right. So just keep this in mind. You know, this is where proper nouns can take the. Common nouns, of course, all of you know what are common nouns. They are names given, not specific names given. They are just names given: chair, table, dog, cat, anything, right? But then there is something called collective nouns. There's something called collective nouns. This is very important, children. Because when we talk about collective nouns, you know, sometimes I don't know whether in class 5, 6, and 7 they would be asking us the different kinds of collective nouns. Sometimes they might ask a question or two, right? But in the smaller classes, they definitely ask about what of what, and what of not what, right? So just let me have a look at the papers and let me just see. No, I yes, they have asked in class 6, in fact. Choose the, no, they have not asked. They have not asked for the collective. They asked for the home of the given animal. Okay, that's okay. So collective nouns, what are collective nouns? Collective nouns are names of nouns which are given to alike objects. Okay, for example, a pride of lions, right? And Vivan's favorite, the Congress of Baboons. Yes, Vivan, the Congress of Baboons. Right? I can say a Congress, I should say actually, because I'm not referring to anything specific over here. Right? A Congress of Baboons, a murder of crows, a murder of crows, right? A parliament of owls. These are some of my favorites. Okay, a parliament of owls, right? So all these pride, congress, murder, parliament, they are all collective nouns. And remember, children, you know how they ask you in the examination is they will give you a sentence. For example, they will say a pride of lions is similar to dash of birds. So a flock of birds, right? So basically what they are asking you for is just to provide the collective noun over there. Now, all of you have been doing this in your smaller classes, and I'm very sure that all your teachers have taken care to, orient you to collective nouns. If at all you have forgotten them, you can just Google them out. There are millions and trillions of collective nouns that you can go through, right? Sometimes in your free time, you can do that. But these are some of the very typical ones which I told you, very interesting. And my favorite, mine and Vivan's favorite is this, a Congress of Baboons, right? So we laugh a lot on this. Okay. And a Parliament of Owls is another favorite of ours, right? So that is there. Now, apart from collective nouns, we also have something called abstract nouns. Abstract. So when we talk about abstract nouns, children, abstract nouns are nothing, but they are nouns which you cannot actually hold like this, You will not touch, feel. You'll feel them, but you'll not hold them, you'll not eat them, you'll not do anything, right? So most of the abstract nouns are, they also have their adjectives. For example, let's suppose Aprajita is feeling sad, right? So sad is an adjective, but I can say sadness is the noun out of the adjective sad. So happiness, right? Love, hatred, and please, when you write the spelling of hatred, be very, very careful. It's H-A-T-R-E-D, not H-A-T-E, right? So these are all many others also, right? So they are abstract nouns. Then there are nouns which are countable, uncountable, to which I'm going in a while, right? So, for example, if I say knowledge, I will not put knowledge specifically under N-O-W-L-E-D-G, specifically under abstract nouns, but I would make it as a masked noun, as an uncountable noun. That is what I'm going to talk about, right? So now the next category that I'm going on to is very, very important, and where most of the rules come in. That is countable nouns. So when I talk about countable nouns, children, I'm talking about anything that can be counted, anything, right? So for example, orange is a countable noun, table is a countable noun, pencil is a countable noun, right? Teacher is a countable noun, right? So with countable nouns, you have to remember they exist in two forms, singular. They exist in two forms, that is singular and plural, right? So for example, if I say orange, I have the plural of orange also, oranges. I have the plural also of orange, that is oranges. All right. So with countable nouns, it's very interesting how articles are used. A, an, and the. So in the next shot, we are going to look at this. Where to use an a, where to use an and, where to use the. The, of course, is used for something very, very specific. And a and an are used for something which is not specific, right? So let's go on to the usage of a, and, or the. But before that, let me tell you, With singular, you can use a, an, or the. With plural, you cannot use a or an. No a allowed, no an allowed, and only the when you are referring to something very specific. So, for example, if I say the oranges that Pramiti got from the market were all rotten, right? So, which oranges? Specific oranges Pramiti, bought by Pramiti from the market and brought home by her, right? Were all rotten. Okay, but I cannot say all oranges. That would be wrong. An oranges, orange, and not a orange, of course, an orange, right? That would be correct, but orange, not oranges. Okay. So when we talk about countable nouns, we are looking at the usage of a and an, the difference. We use a with all consonants, right? And with vowels. Now, those of you who do not understand what are vowels and consonants, but you understand Hindi, in Hindi you have swar and vyanjan, right? So when we talk about vowels, we are talking about swars, where in the pronunciation of those words, your tongue does not touch your palate. Now I'll say certain words. Okay, you have all learned phonics, right? So when we talk about orange, orange, try pronouncing it. Does your tongue touch your palate? Does it touch the upper part of your mouth or the lower part of your mouth or your teeth? Orange. No, right? Hour and hour, hour. It starts with an H, but the sound is often right? R. Honest, honest. Oh, phonics. That's why phonics is important, right? Honest. You don't say honest, no, unless and until you go to South India and somebody meets you and says, "Oh, what a honest man you are," huh? But otherwise, it's honest. Okay. All right. So, where your tongue does not touch your palate and you can pronounce that word, that becomes an automatic vowel, right? Now, when I come to consonants, children, any word apart from vowels is a consonant. So, for example, if I say table, try pronouncing table. Your tongue will touch your upper palate. Table, table, right? Chair, chair. See, it's touching everywhere, wherever you're talking about it. Table, chair, right? But there are certain words here which start with the letters which otherwise define the vowels, but they are used, but those letters have a different sound. So, for example, when I say university, am I saying university or am I saying university? I'm saying university. So the sound is of a U. It's a consonant. Okay? Unique. U. Of course, we cannot use a with unique. We will say he's a unique person. He's the unique. Of course, we can use it. Unique, right? And UNIQUE, this is not a dot. Let's remove this one. Okay. If you say utopia, right? Again, it's the sound of a U. Utopia, right? Utopia is a place where there is no sadness, everything is perfect, fine, right? So all these, although they were starting with the letters which otherwise define the vowels, what are vowels? The sounds of A, E, I, O, U, right? So, but these words are using a, they are defined as consonants. And then there are certain words which start with consonants, right? but are used as vowels. For example, MBA. So you try pronouncing it. It's M. He is an MBA. Right? So he's an MBA. Okay, that's very, very important. See, Gunbir Singh has to call me anytime. Let me answer him. Yes, Gunbir.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Sir, I am in another school. My mother has put in stalls. Sir, can you let me in the class I am at?
But you are not waiting. You join, I'll let you in, don't worry.
Okay.
Look at Gunbir Singh. That's it. He has to create some flutter. LLB. So it's again L. And we have Ella over there and in the background of Ishani. Ella. Right? So and LLB. L. Right? Okay. So remember this, that vowels are not the words which start with A-E-I-O-U, but which start with the sounds of A-E-I-O-U. Okay? That is something which you need to remember. So sometimes we might quiz you on this as well. Now, coming to countable, uncountable. So countable we have already discussed. Now we are going to uncountable nouns. Now when we talk about uncountable nouns, children, remember we cannot use the a or an with them. Okay, we can just use the, because what happens, we cannot refer to something, to them as something indefinite. For example, if I say, so let's first see what are uncountable nouns, right? All uncountable nouns, any kind of a powder. I'm making it very simple for you. Powder, any kind of a liquid, any kind of a metal. What has happened to my maths? 3, metal. Okay, they are uncountable. Any kind of, what else? Abstract nouns will come under uncountable nouns. Any kind of mass nouns like knowledge, etc., right? They would come under uncountable nouns, right? So if we look at examples, right? If I say dust, dust is uncountable. Cannot count dust, right? Somebody might attempt to count it, but it's empirically otherwise uncountable, right? So, for example, sand, it's uncountable. Gravel, the small stones, which are put together, roda, bajri, right? So gravel, that's uncountable. Any kind of liquid, water is uncountable. Juice is uncountable. Milk is uncountable, right? I would put one more over here. Gases, right? Any kind of gases are uncountable. Oxygen is uncountable. It's measurable, but uncountable. Remember that, right? Pollution. You will not count pollution, you will measure pollution, right? Any kind of metal, that is your gold, silver, right? They are all uncountable. Then your abstract nouns, love is uncountable. You can feel it, but you cannot count it. Mass nouns, right? Knowledge. Knowledge. Wisdom is uncountable. All right. So they are all uncountable nouns. So you cannot say a dust, a sand, a gravel, a water, a juice. The water is absolutely fine. If I'm referring to the specific water, the water in the pool is dirty, right? That is okay. The juice in the jar is too sweet. That is absolutely fine. But you will not say, I cannot see them waiting here, right? So that is there, children. Okay, so just a moment. Can't see people. Oh, it is now there. People are waiting, but today I'm not able to see people somehow. Some problem with my Zoom. Okay. This Hardik also, this Radhak also is coming. See, this is the problem that is happening with my Zoom, I think today. It's a little off track because it otherwise shows always in the highlight people are waiting and all that. It's getting hidden somewhere. Okay. So all these are uncountable nouns, right? So remember them: powder, liquid, metal, abstract nouns, masses, gas. So you can use only the. What it means is we cannot use a, we cannot use and with them. Please mute your mics, children, please, because we have a lot to achieve. Okay. Now, with uncountable nouns, again, children, the thing is when we are talking about uncountable nouns, you know, there is one gray area where we talk about hair. All right. So, for example, if I'm talking about a person's hair, right? This hair over here, when I'm referring to his entire crop of hair, the entire coiffure that he has, this becomes uncountable, right? And when it becomes uncountable, you can say, my hair is curly. Remember, see the verb here. It's singular. You are not saying my hair are curly. You're not saying my hairs are curly. You're saying my hair is curly, right? Because I'm referring to the entire crop of hair and I'm treating it as uncountable. But let's suppose you went to the market, you ordered a nice bowl of soup, hmm, and suddenly Aradak had this hair floating on it. So he would say, there was a hair in my soup. Right here, hair is being used as countable. Remember this, right? So hair is one gray area which is used both as countable as well as uncountable. The same goes for stars. When we talk about stars, stars shine in the sky. So all the stars, right? But if I say the star closest to Venus was shining very brightly, so I'm referring to a particular star. I'm using it as a countable noun. All right. So far so good. So I think we have covered most of nouns. All right. Now let me ask you a couple of questions. Okay, are we ready for a quick verbal quiz? Okay, you can be, your mics can be switched on now. Okay, before we end this, then we'll go on to pronouns. These two topics I want to finish today. Right. So, all right. Okay, yesterday I lost my dash of keys. Your options are bouquet, bunch, bundle, packet.
Bunch. Bunch of keys.
Bunch of keys. Okay. Gunveer picked up a dash of sticks from the garden. Bouquet.
Bundle of sticks.
Bundle of sticks. Great. Okay. Aisha bought a dash of bread.
A loaf of bread. Loaf of
bread. Okay. A loaf of bread she would buy only one. Think.
Sir, loaves of bread.
Okay, you are right. She bought loaves of bread, right? Or she bought a loaf of bread, loaves of bread. Okay. Jasraj went to the florist and bought a dash of flowers.
But
Bouquet.
Not
Not bouquet, bouquet of flowers. Okay. And please
Okay.
be mindful of the spelling of the word bouquet. 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 Okay. Okay. This one is for Aditi Belwan.
Yes, sir.
Our dash won the match. Cattle team crowd
Sir.
heard.
Sir, cattle.
Your cattle will win the match. You know what is cattle?
No, sir.
Aditi?
No,
the team.
Team. Aditi,
Team.
Aditi, yes, you're right. So cattle is cows, bulls, sheep, goat. The cattle cannot win the match unless and until you have a cattle match. Right? Okay. Somebody has to make us laugh. Okay, good. All right. This one is for Purvi Sharma. Sharma. Okay.
Yes, sir.
A big dash had gathered to see the effigy of Raman. बहुत सारे लोग रावण को देखने आए थे. अब dash crowd. Good. Good. Okay. Next one is for Manvi Chawla. Manvi.
Yes,
A dash of cattle was grazing in the meadows.
Sir, a cluster of
No, not a cluster at all. Cattle will be very angry with you and bulls will come chasing you now with their horns. Huh? So be careful, Manvi, when you go out today. All the cows and bulls are angry with you. Yes, Priyanshi. Priyanshi, a dash of cattle.
a dash of cattle.
Come on, yeah. Jasu. Just boy.
Sir, cow.
Cow of cattle. Cow is countable. I'm talking about a collective noun, Jasraj. Don't make me laugh so much on a Sunday. Analak Singh Dasila, a dash of
Yes,
cattle.
sir.
A dash of cattle.
Sir, I don't know.
Oh, Amna, a dash of cattle. Some people are highly amused in the class, like Niyati, Vivan, Saransh, Aisha. They're just all laughing and looking here and there. Aditya, a dash of cattle.
Sir, a crowd of cattle.
Oh no, my dear, no. Now you be aware when you go out of your house today. Okay, all the cows and the bulls are going to.
Sir, a herd of cattle.
Herd of cattle. Yes, HERD. Herd. And
Sir,
will be,
sir,
you know,
I said in the
herd of cattle. See, this is what I'm saying. They ask you questions like this. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you. Okay, this is a good one. No Googling allowed. A dash of monkeys was jumping on the tin roof.
two monkeys.
Yes, Niyati, good. Troop. TROUP. TROUP. Okay. Troop of monkeys. TROUP. Okay. Great. All right. So now, okay, let me ask you this question. If I say, I watch the television or I watch television.
I watch television.
Watch
television.
Yes.
television.
I watch television. Okay, just remember this when we are talking. When we are talking about television. Okay, you can switch off your mics, children, 1 minute. When we talk about television, you know, when we talk about television in general, right? So I would not use any article. I would say I watch television. TELEVISION. Right? In general, I'm watching television. But I can always say the television that I bought in 1989 is still working. Here, what am I referring to? I'm referring to the television set. Okay, so when we talk about television sets, we will use the, otherwise we will not use the. Okay, but with radio, it's different, children. With radio, we always use the. My father listens to the radio, not to radio. And the same thing will go with the radio set also. The radio in my house is old. Okay, I'm expressing some surprise as well over there. So with radio, you will use the. With television, you will use the in one place, you will not use the. When you are referring to television in general, as a concept of television, you will not use the. But when you are referring to the countable television set, you will use the. All right, great. Now what we are going to do, children, is very quickly. This recording, is a little disturbing. So what I'm going to do is, after that conversion, when it has to happen. So it's 1:23 according to my computer. Right now, you can join the meeting exactly at 1:30. Okay, by that time it will help converting also. So I'll start the meeting at 1:30. Great. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Gunveer. Yes.
Sir, I was saying that, sir, I can leave little bit early.
Anybody can leave anytime. Yeah? That's okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. So I'm ending the meeting. I'm recording it, and 1:30 again we assemble here.
So will we do pronouns now?
After this, yes. Exactly.